Alright folks, it's been a while, but I finally went out and got myself from J&G Sales one of these last of these P-38, Walther P-38 pistols that you can get from them. Right now they're going for $579.95 or something like that. And I paid an extra $20 to get or select by code, and I got the BYF code, which is the code for Mauser. There are three. When these guys were being made, they were made at the Walther's factory for the most part, and the vast majority of the ones that were made at that one. I think like about 500,000 or so. And let's just go ahead and open this up here so we can look at it. But during the war, when these were being made for the Wehrmacht, they discovered that they did not have enough capacity to manufacture these fast enough. So they started, or they contracted out to make them at Mauser, which is the BYF code, and then some were built at Spreeworks. And actually, even though Spreeworks is located in, or was located in Germany, it is in fact, I think a lot of these were actually made in Czechoslovakian factories of one kind or another. So anyway, this is what you get when you buy it from them. It comes in a FedEx packet or a UPS package, and then they just brown wrap it up or wrap it up in bubble wrap, and then you get the pistol here, as you can see. So they made about 300,000 or 400,000 over at Mauser Works. They're a little more desirable, and you can't see it here, but you will in a minute. You can see the code that comes with that for BYF. The Spreeworks one are the least desirable of the three, although, to be quite honest, these are becoming so rare now that it's getting to the point where you better get one. If you're going to get one, you better get one now, because they are not going to be around for much longer. You can either get this or the P1, which is its replacement that the German police forces used in like the 60s, I believe, or 50s or 60s, something like that. And they're good pistols. They're great shooters. But man, this is all steel, all original. It is just really, really nice. I like this gun. I like it a lot. Can't wait to shoot it. Let's focus in on that here. So let's take a look at it. First, it has a European style mag release. That's the only thing I really don't like about the gun. So, you know, tactically speaking, it's not as useful as you're probably used to with other 9mm pistols. This is the P-38, the Walther P-38 is chambered for 9mm Luger or Parabellum, which is, you know, it's now become one of the most common types of ballistic or bullet that you're going to see now. It's just, you know, it's the forerunner to all other types of pistols that you see on the marketplace, and there are a lot of design features on here that if you have a Beretta, you'll be quite familiar with. You know, there are a lot of other videos that point out that fact, and just to prove my point that there is no rounds in here. Let's move that back. There we go. So it's just like any other semi-auto pistol. It has a slide release here. You can use it to hold back the pistol. It looks kind of complicated when you first take a look at it. When I did my first takedown, I was kind of surprised. It seemed like it was a more intricate pistol than I was led to believe. Now, these were replacements for the Luger. The Luger, which a lot of folks, you know, assumed was a pistol that was used in World War II at some length, it really wasn't. In fact, they stopped making it in 1942, with the exception of, I think, one factory that was still making them for the Luftwaffe. They still like to use the Luger for quite a bit. But for all intents and purposes, the old Luger became a pistol that I guess you might say was desired as a collector's item for folks in the military, for officers who could have that. But the Wehrmacht needed to manufacture a pistol that was less expensive, that was more robust in design, and something that wouldn't jam nearly as often as some of the Lugers were tended to experience. So they started manufacturing actually in 1939. It's a P-38 because 38 was the year that they officially designated the pistol and decided to do trials for it. But 39 is when they actually made test trial pistols for the Wehrmacht test, and then from there on, it just became the standard firearm for the Wehrmacht. I mean, they've made almost, if not maybe slightly over, 1 million of these pistols, and it's they're really nice. I can go ahead and drop that. I've already cleared this out a couple of times. I'll just do it again. But like I said, it functions just like any other pistol. It has a safety drop here. Let me see if I can focus on that. It has a safety that will drop the hammer without firing the pistol. At least that's the theory. Talked about the slide release here. You take it has a 8-bullet magazine that you stick in here, and this is, incidentally, this is an original. And if I can zoom in here for a minute, I'll show you. This is an original magazine with a manufacturer code of JVD, which is a different factory. I can't remember the name of it right now. So really, there were 4 factories that had at least some kind of input or participation in making this pistol. But I think they only made the magazines at that particular factory. The 3 main manufacturers of this pistol were Walther, Mauser, and of course Spreeworks. So before I take this down, let's take a look at some of the codes you're going to see on here. I'm going to try my best to get this fancy camera I just got to zoom in on it. Here we go. So you have the P-38, it's obvious, and on the slide portion of this pistol, you'll see that it has the BYF code, which is very prominent. So zoom in. So you have the BYF code and then the 44, which is the year of manufacture. Then further back on the pistol, you'll see the first set of serial numbers with a letter Z. I don't know if there's any methodology. I don't know enough about this pistol to know if there's a methodology with the numbers along with the letters, but in any event, that's the code for that. Now over here, it's been pinged out or crossed out. You can actually see the X's here. You can almost read the numbers underneath. It looks like it's a 2722 or something, but that is the prior code for the frame, which has been crossed out since it went through the refurb process. And then throughout this pistol, you're going to find a whole lot of these smaller codes where you looks like you have an eagle and then a 359 or something to that effect. That basically tells you what factory this came from. I believe that is the 359 is, I think that's Walther actually. I'll have to check and see. The AC is the Walther code. So what in effect we have is just like, you see this a lot with mosin-nagants and other kinds of pistols. We have a pistol here that the frame of which was from Walther, but the slide, and incidentally all the parts to the slide, are from Mauser. And you can see that too because there's you'll find codes elsewhere on this pistol. Like here you have it on the end of the barrel housing unit, I guess. And when you take this gun apart more thoroughly, you'll see more of those kinds of codes in there. So let's go ahead and take this apart.